What are your thoughts on the Austin metal scene right now?
5 different opinions going up.
Okay, bring it on.
I personally think it's great. I mean, we played in all over Texas, and I think Austin has one of the best scenes there is around. You've got all kinds of metal. You've got even other kinds of hard rock and experimental type stuff. You've got several excellent venues to play in. Everyone knows each other. Everyone is working together. You've got things like Pure Metal Sickness that really kind of solidify everyone, and I don't see it doing anything but growing and improving.
I agree with Drew. There's a lot of very, very talented bands out there. What I think I've seen, what strikes me when I look at it is the level of camaraderie though between the bands. They're all very supportive of each other, and we've been out and played around Texas, and we've taken some of the Austin bands with us. Just because we think they need to get out as well, and they need to be seen by other people. And I think the level of friendship, between the bands at the moment, maybe a few years ago it was a bit backstabby, but now, there seems to be a much better attitude and a much better scene collectively. So I think we've definitely got one of the most diverse scenes in Texas. We've played Dallas, we've played San Antonio, we've played Houston. Nothing against those cities, but I think the diversity that we've got in Austin right now with the bands is tremendous, and that can only do the scene a world of good. Pretty soon somebody will figure it out and start looking at Austin and realise just how much talent there is down here.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm glad to see that people still enjoy a guitar solo here and there, and want to listen to a band where the singer can actually sing or whatever the case is. I mean, I played a lot of the other music where wasn't necessarily guitar solo based and was a lot of screaming. I've done that on myself, and I'm not knocking that by any means, but to know that our music is kind of rooted in so many different things, and even what people consider old school or hair metal or whatever, that we've taken it, evolved it into what we do, and people still really enjoy it, and that we're not doing anything that's necessarily mainstream, but people are really digging it, and that's what I think really counts the most. Whether the Austin metal scene or the Houston metal scene or whatever is good or not as good as the next, the fact that we have a core audience of people that really enjoy what we're doing and what some of the other bands that we play with are doing, I think that probably matters most.
Yeah. There's so many subgenres of metal, and you guys are labeled prog rock. Can you give me a definition for the uneducated?
It's called having an Asian bass player.
It used to be having a keyboard player, but then he's not around. It's people saying, hey, they kind of sound like Dream Theater.
Yeah, I think it all has to do with what your influences are. I think the prog rock or prog metal, whatever, it's typically more. There's a lot more technical playing. It's kind of rooted in some classical music and in the kind of art rock type stuff like Yes and Genesis and that old stuff from the 70s. And then then Dream Theater came along, and that's
Rush.
And Rush, can't forget Rush.
Symphony X.
ELP.
Yeah, I mean, but I think you can kind of look at prog rock and prog metal in different facets, like you were saying. It just depends on kind of who you listen to. The style of Rush versus like a Dream Theater. I mean, I think most people are probably familiar with them, but it's hard to, you can't say one's any more progressive than the next in a sense. But I think just utilizing a lot more maybe intricacies of music and our playing and our abilities and things, and to really put them into music and into a song. Happens to be 7 or 8 minutes long, I mean, that's kind of not that those are the rules or anything for progressive metal, but that's what it kind of falls into. I don't really know exactly what
it's kind of hard to describe in 10 words or less.
How about you, John? What's your opinion on it?
It's breaking all the rules. And I mean, there are bands like Dream Theater. You listen to them. Like the first time I heard them, I thought, wow, that's not supposed to happen. They lead your ear to one direction, then they take you into like some other place. And I thought, wow, that's so cool. And before when I was like little, you hear the standard stuff, and it sounds good. You want to dance to it. You want to move this way. But then with prog, it's like it just takes you to another place. It's just breaking all the rules basically.
And each song is so different
than one another. The diversity, I really dig a lot with this band. I mean, the stuff we write, one song compared to the next is just, the diversity's great. From a playing standpoint and sonically and everything else.
So as artists, there's a lot of freedom within the genre.
definitely.
And you're totally comfortable with that label, prog metal?
We've been called worse with that.
Iron Maiden meets Fatboy Slim was one we got. We're particularly proud of that one.
Very nice.
Yeah, it was Fatboy Slim. So, but you know what?
Well, that's what happens when we listen to our CD and not us live. I
Yeah.
guess. That's why I want to re-record.
It's so easy to label, and then especially for the no disrespect to the uneducated, it's like where they'll pick a band that you sound like if they don't know that whole sub scene itself, because there's the Dream Theater thing is every prog metal band would aspire to be Dream Theater. So but we don't play like Dream Theater. We play our way, and we have our version of it. So
We don't mind the comparisons, though.
no,
Yeah. I mean, if you can pick a band and say, well, they sound like this band just for, just to compare and contrast to, I mean, that's fine. I mean, it's like, I don't think any one of us would, not like the fact that people say at least we have, Dream Theater's style or sound, because, we all listen to them, and they've taken the prog metal to that next level in a sense with at least just mainstreaming it, because there's more people that have heard of Dream Theater than probably a lot of the other prog metal bands.